Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
Hey everyone, JR here from Bell of Lost Souls with
Drake from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
and you're watching another Tabletop Spotlight. What do you got for me today?
Today I have the new L5R RPG beginner set. This is the 5th edition of the Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game. It is now officially being produced and published by Fantasy Flight.
Yeah,
is the name of the company.
Right, they've got the living card game out already, which is chock full of amazing arts, and like I love that gameplay in particular. But
yeah, so AEG published it for a long time, and when that license moved over to Fantasy Flight, the 4th edition of the RPG kind of got phased out. Now finally we see it coming back as of like a week ago. This is out. And as a starter set, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Well, let's dive in, shall we? All right, folks. This is the Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game, or as I have been calling it, the L5 RPG beginner box. Let's. Uh-oh. It's one of those. Half the fun is figuring out how you open this thing.
Crafty
Here we go. Here we go.
Cardboard insert to preserve the space. And there's the final the Fantasy Flight dice.
Yes.
Take a look at those in a second.
We got, of course, the FFG catalog that comes in everything. Here we go. Read this first. You can't tell me what to do, pamphlet. You got tokens because it's an FFG
Character
game.
punch outs, solid.
Oh man, look at this. Look at this guy. This is a map of Rokugan, the Emerald Empire, where honor is stronger than steel, and it even has some like sample castle maps. This is amazing.
Yeah, so I believe that's going to be a setting map for specifically this pre-generated adventure.
Yeah, which takes you basically through the game. We'll flip through that in a little more detail here in a moment.
It talks about it on the box, but as in regards to the pre-gen, it does specify and refer to it as a learn as you play intro adventure. So I think pretty quickly after sitting down, you can take one of the pre-generated characters, which we're going to look at after we flip through that rulebook, and just sit down and start running, and you'll basically be able to figure it out as you're playing, and then touch upon the rulebook after that to polish off the differences.
That's cool. Yeah, so this is, it's the L5R RPG rule set. It uses custom dice, but it's a different system from most Fantasy Flight games. It doesn't use their Genesis or like Star Wars engine. If you've seen their custom dice, then you understand like, okay, I know that I'm rolling things, but both the color and the sides matter. So let's show that off real quick because I think that's worth talking about. So you have a few different symbols on each of these. The white dice are your skill dice; they represent your training, and the black dice are the ring dice, which represent your like attributes, your personality, your fundamental aptitudes, and all that stuff. You have different symbols that all represent different things here. A single ring is success, right? But then you have over here, where is it? Maybe. Now you also have the explosive success, which means that you've done something cool. Explosive success. And then you have opportunity, which is interesting because this is sort of where the game gets a little bit more narrative. This is like a positive side effect. So not only have you done some success, right? If you succeed, at least, you also have maybe noticed a new detail about the environment, or like knocked an enemy off balance or something like that. But it's FFG, so.
And what's also interesting about that is that side of the die specifically that you were just showing is only an opportunity. It is not a success accompanying it.
Yes.
So that you can have a positive side effect while still failing at what you were trying to do. And that is something that is reminiscent of the Genesis system and other stuff we've seen through Fantasy Flight, where success does not always mean only good things.
And similarly, failure can come calling at any time. You'll notice here on this guy, if it'll focus, well, there's a little jagged heart on this guy. And it's basically this is the symbol for strife. So strife is something. This represents like an upwelling of emotion, right? And emotion is in samurai games. Strife and emotion is kind of a difficult thing, right? Your challenge is not just the external foes you're fighting, but the internal battle within yourself. So these accompany like success and failure and all of that stuff. So it's a really cool system. I love it.
It's an exercise in discipline as well as skill or martial prowess.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but again, this is sort of as crunchy as it is. They do kind of highlight the poetry and internal drama that's common to like samurai fiction and stuff like that.
And similar and reminiscent of past editions of L5R.
Absolutely. And of course, it's a complete rule book, so it gives you everything you need to play the game, right? It's not the full core book, but it gives you rules on how to run things, how to run like intrigues, how to do chases, how to deal with ranges and stuff like that, and all the conditions you can get out of combat: fatigue, prone, incapacitated, enraged, etc., etc. And last but not least, you get a whole bunch of sample NPCs, including all the stats you need to run them. So basically, with this, you can start making your own campaign. And who you got for characters? These beautiful people.
Looks like we have one from each of the major clans.
I think so. Yes.
Not quite.
Oh. Ooh, who are we missing?
Somebody? We're definitely
We are missing the
so
Scorpion Clan.
We only have 4.
Or are we? I wonder, because Scorpion Clan, they're the treacherous ones. But we do have 4. Let me zoom out just a hair, so we can see these fine folks. So we have Togashi Yoshi, the tattooed monk of the Dragon Clan. We have Doji Ren, courtier of the Crane Clan. Isawa, Shugenja of the Phoenix Clan. And Akodo Masako, Bushi of the Lion Clan. So you get like a full breadth of what the game is like. Everything from warrior characters to social characters, magic, and fun martial art times. The Dragon Clan has always been an interesting place. I just want to flip. Let's just flip through one, just kind of to give an example.
Yeah, because they're all going to have the same.
They're all going to be
layout.
So this is like the basic. This is what life in the Emerald Empire is.
And where this particular character fits into all of that.
You get your character sheet, your own personal turmoil, special abilities, and then how to level up as you play this character in particular.
Yeah, and so it looked like that was basically at level 1 or the start of that adventure, and then as they grow, you use this one instead. Use a couple of stats increase and stuff like that. But it's not like both to be used at the same time. It's as you progress through that. What I imagine is the beginner adventure.
Learn to play adventure. Yeah. Well, that is the Legend of the Five Rings beginner box. A ton of fun. Let's hop out for the outro. Well, that was the Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game beginner box. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of a pre-gen adventure that teaches as you go, so that there really is very little downtime between opening it, and go in. And the pre-gen characters are diverse. It's gorgeous.
I want to get my hands on like the full like core book now. I'm jazzed.
Yeah, and this it reminds me a lot of, I guess, Fantasy Flight's other starter sets. I know their Star Wars beginner set has a lot of the same kind of things where it incorporates tokens so that you don't have to invest in minis all the way.
Right.
The maps they use, the pre-gens.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Fantasy Flight game if they didn't have custom dice.
Exactly. those D12s and those D6s, those are begging, and I'm sure they'll be in a clamshell on their own later.
Oh, for sure.
But
in the meantime,
this is the only way you can get them, at least for now.
Right. So speaking of the only way you can get them, let's run some numbers.
Sure. So this right now is $39.95. Okay. For a starter set, that's pretty on par with very accessible, very easy to justify picking up, especially between a group of 4 to 5 to sit down and play it.
Cool. About how long would you say it takes to kind of get people up to speed? Like how quick would you think it's to get?
I believe it's probably going to end up sitting around for usually probably 2 to 3 hours if you want to get anywhere sizable. But that's the beauty of RPGs. You can split it up as much, like you can do as much or as little at a given session as you want, based on how often your group can meet. And it is definitely not built for larger groups, so it is usually you need at least 3, up to maybe 5, maybe 6 if you really want to push it.
If you want to push it, but yeah, L5R really does like benefit a smaller party. It is a ton of fun. Check it out. I'm JR with Bell of Lost Souls.
And I'm Drake with Dragons of Comics and Fantasy.
Thanks for watching.
Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.